Okay, team. I'm going to try and catch up a little bit because I know that there are some really fabulous presentations as well to come. So this is going to be a bit of a romp through research. But as everything that is Look Good, Feel Better, it's going to be hopefully some time away from medical treatment, some time away about yourselves, some time to just sort of share the work that we're doing to actually ensure that we are relevant today as the cancer patients' needs continue to evolve. And what we've been doing through COVID, etc., was really evolving and listening to the patients and talking as much to you guys as well in terms of what's actually needed out there, she says. So she's going to, hopefully it'll go. Of course it won't. Maybe it won't work for me. So stuck. Don't know what to do. Okay. So I might just do it as Marcel Marceau. And here we go. But let me introduce you to Neil, because he will tell you a little bit more about Look Good, Feel Better from a carer's point of view, hopefully.
There's a couple who are impacted emotionally, physically, in many, many ways. And that's, I think, something which gets lost.
Sorry.
Cancer is a couple's disease. You are impacted emotionally, physically, in many, many ways. And that's, I think, something which gets lost.
People aren't saying to him, and how are you going?
I don't know of anything which is really directed at a carer. Rightly, it's directed at the person who has undergone the treatment. The carer is the person who is to the side of that. It's possible to feel quite excluded as a carer. Look Good, Feel Better has helped me to connect with my wife in a special and unique way. It doesn't mean going to a clinic, going to a hospital, going to a doctor. It's an appointment for fun. Look Good, Feel Better. The chair yoga class has given me focus, and it's given me connections to people who I didn't even know were around and were going down a route that they never chose either. It's a reminder, it's a very strong reminder about I'm not alone, she's not alone. We're all in this together. In a way, it's a me time, but it's also an us time.
So, Kiora, thank you so much for having the opportunity to present today some of our research and the work that we've been doing our Mahi over the last couple of years. I am Clare O'Higgins. I have had the privilege for the last 12 years to lead Look Good, Feel Better, and it is a pleasure to be in Otaki today. We've probably got about 15 minutes now just to go there, so we're going to do it at pace, but for feedback and everything, Liz, who is one of our facilitators in Christchurch, is here today along with Tanya and myself, so please come up and see us and talk to us and share any insights as well that you may be able to do. For our Mahi, the world has shifted, and what we wanted to be able to do was to look to see where our place was in that non-medical space and support throughout medical treatment. We wanted to seize the opportunity to grow and support those with cancer and to support the supporters, because we recognised as well that there was a need there from a well-being perspective from the research that we're about to share with you. Many of you who have actually come up to see us and know about us, which has been absolutely awesome. Look Good, Feel Better. We are a non-medical charity. We are in 27 countries worldwide, but in New Zealand, our goal is to be an integral, recognisable, valued, non-medical part of cancer care in New Zealand. We are patient-led with services and support to empower anyone affected by cancer. And we all, we're a small team. There's a small team of 6 of us based in Auckland, but we have 40 plus facilitators doing variety of things all around the country, absolutely dedicated to ensuring that anyone with any cancer can attend any free sessions. This is how we've changed. So pre-2020, we had a single focus. It was our community signature skincare and makeup classes. They were absolutely around the appearance side effects. And many of you will talk to your patients and talk about it. It's that fun day away from treatment. It's an opportunity to sit and talk to others, to connect in a community way that you don't normally do. We view it that it's the day actually away from treatment. You are the person, not the NHI number that day. And there is no need for anyone to go in and talk prognosis at all. Everybody knows why they might be there, but it is a chance to connect. And we often say that a community class that's going well is a noisy class because people are sharing email addresses and mobile numbers. And you can see when we've done them in Ashburton and places, they're working out how they can actually go to chemo sessions together and taxi share, etc. However, a lot's changed. And in the past few years, we fast forward, we now operate 13 different programs. And not only are we still in 40 plus centres throughout Aotearoa, we are connecting with over 3,000 participants at any one time. Our free wellbeing program offers a wide range of tips, tools, and techniques. And it's really important for skin, mind, body, and boosting their confidence and morale. We've included now live online sessions. So again, recognizing while everything needs to be free, if people are actually feeling very immune compromised and they don't want to be in a community centre, they can log on and they will receive their kit at home. And they can do the browse at home with a facilitator that's there. They can do like Neil and Pauline. Pauline was obviously the Look Good, Feel Better participant. They can do a weekly chair yoga class or a gentle Pilates class or a breathing class or a mindfulness class, because your entry into well-being is different for everyone. And we're wanting to recognize that that's really important. And when you're firstly diagnosed, the things that you may wish in your keti is different during treatment and then post-treatment, because we have a lot of people talking to us about, well, I've finished treatment, what next? Who am I now? How do I actually take the next steps within that? We now have podcasts and on demand. So again, in those wee small hours when people are actually awake and not sure and everything is sort of raging within there, we have 3 different series of podcasts where we're talking to experts, we're talking to other participants, we're talking about various areas of cancer, called Cancer Conversations. It's the conversations that you never thought that you needed for the diagnosis that you never ever wanted. And again, it's allowed Look Good to be able to extend out of that particular skincare lane to address what the patients want to hear, how they want to hear it, and when they want to hear it too. We also have live Q&As. So people like experts like David Downs, Dr. Clare Hardy, they will come on a Sunday, and it's an opportunity for whānau as well as participants to actually ask the experts. So it's a short 20-minute explanation about perhaps some form of care or treatment, and then you're able to ask questions as well. So we're not the experts, we bring in the services to be able to do that, because again, if people are actually trying to find the resource and understand what non-medical well-being opportunities there are, we're going to be that central source to allow people to access it. And as we say, importantly, it needs to be free. How a patient navigates information. You guys are the most important, we know. And whenever anybody comes here and they go, oh, my oncology nurse referred me, we know you are some of our most important referrers. But you can see that actually in the sea of everything from Dr. Google and everything, we try and actually ensure that we are meeting them where they wish to meet them. And it's hard. Sometimes we're known as the best kept secret. We would love not to be a secret. So if we're able to talk a little bit further and be in the places when people need to be in there, that's what we will do. So they do say that change comes from either seeing the light or feeling the heat. And I'm not sure what I was feeling at the time, but I know the team during the pandemic, we really sat together in our bubbles, looking at a way to fast track our transformation. It gave the team the freedom to test and learn. It was probably, you were absolutely doing the hard yards, and we would see our patients log on, and we had an understanding of actually what it was like to be immune compromised. We'd seen everyone, of course, at a community class where you've kind of put your best step forward. Being able to have the privilege to go into their home via Zoom, seeing that actually they may be still sitting in bed, they may choose to turn their camera off, they may still be in their jammies, there may be childcare issues going around there. It really brought us home to us the importance of actually our accessibility and our ability to be able to have the privilege to go into the home. And then we kind of went, well, what is the Wellbeing Index looking like in New Zealand? And what is the cancer patient and the supporter and the general New Zealand post-COVID? How are we all feeling? And so with the support of the Look Good, Feel Better board, I was very grateful that we were able to commission the international research company Ipsos to benchmark the Wellbeing Index and to seek some answers. And then this year we were able to further extend it to our cancer wellbeing tracker. And due to the obviously unfortunateness of somebody not being able to speak today, we have had the opportunity to leap in to perhaps share just a few bits of our places. We're going to share some of the valuable wellbeing insights, and we know that you will be able to tell us so much more, but these are the insights from the participants and the carers in terms of what they need whilst they're actually going through treatment, and where we as a non-medical service charity would like to be part of the complete holistic support within there. So the ways in which we can help you in the community, as you're doing, as I say, the hard mahi. So the research identified that the patient needs are for control, connection, confidence, and wellness. Control, being able to support, and with our signature skincare, it was about being able to control what they could control. If they could actually learn to draw an eyebrow on, it was something today that they could do that they couldn't do yesterday. And it gave them a sense of control when nothing is normal. Connection, being in a safe community where people just got it. That even when they were logging on, and Neil and Pauline were in Nelson, and Janine, who was taking the classes in Wellington, and then you may have Yuku, who was based up in Auckland, but they came together as many cancers, but one community for that time. Confidence, can I face the world? Can we give the tips and tools so people like Katie can go to the school gate and not feel like a freak, or not actually scare their child as they're picking them up from the school? So we're not that sort of glamorous, it's the makeup thing. It's actually about normality and the sense of control, and somebody actually feeling that I can do something to feel confident tomorrow. And wellness, having that practical support and information of experiences. So how are we doing? And why might those, what we did is we looked at the scores, and why might those with cancer be stating that they had higher well-being scores than those without cancer? And what place do complementary therapies, those research-based complementary therapies, not alternative therapies, what do they do, and where are they placed in enhancing well-being? And what support is appealing to men with cancer, gosh, trying to find the men with cancer to come to classes has been the hardest thing in the world. So it is like mining. So if you actually have any solutions, please let us know. And how can we better support the supporters? The one thing we know with men is they don't want support groups. They hate the idea of being in a support group, and that's one of the reasons why we're trying to work with Men's Shed and things like that, because it's actually not about that. It's actually about doing a different activity. So, okay, so where were we at? Methodology, good sample size. We really did try to get a really good, and a national representative of age, gender, and ethnicity and region. The target market was cancer sufferers, supporters, and the Look Good, Feel Better community. And you can see that we tried to get the national ethnicity piece within there, recognizing this is a conference about equity. Within there, we know we have to do a better job. And it was a delight to be able to talk at one of the breaks about saying how we need to actually engage and offer our services to those communities who can actually deliver them for us, because in a Pacifica or Maori community, you are not wanting me there. Yeah, I don't fit there. In some of the research that they had, we had some beautiful Maori women talk about this. This was really, really beautiful, but actually you just didn't get me. And that's really good. It's really good to know that, you know, we've been going for 30 plus years. And, you know, I think about Jason's, our framework was based on an international framework, which was set up from America. So the way in which we did things was largely Pākehā. And what we're saying is that doesn't work. That doesn't work in New Zealand. So to work with Elizabeth Fa'ili from Tame for the Pacifica community, that's really important for us to be able to go to Kaitaia and say, in that region, what do you need? How do we need to run a program, which might not be this, it might be something else, is really important for us to learn and understand. So a quick deep dive, I love that, a quick deep dive, so it might be a splash. Many of you will know the World Health Index, Wellbeing Index, and so we chose that because we wanted authenticity, credibility, and a benchmark that we could come back to annually to see what was actually moving within there. We believe that it's important that we can talk to medical professionals as well in a competent way in terms of what's actually happening within there, to elevate the conversation into non-medical services and the importance that we support. You know, that's our role. Our role is to support, and for Look Good, Feel Better, we're dealing with today. And whatever anybody needs tomorrow, I will ensure today that we can listen and find that service. So what happened? What happened? Interestingly, cancer sufferers did report the highest well-being. And then we did it again in 2024. And while there was a little bit of movement backwards, and you may be able to sort of offer insights into that in terms of the stress on the system and the stress on themselves, they still have a higher well-being index than the national average. And sufferers aged 34 to 44 and 45 to 54 report significantly poorer well-being. And we kind of call those age groups the sandwich generation, where you're caring for possibly children or older generations as well whilst doing that. So you've got different stresses happening there at the time. And cancer participants, it was Ipsos's word, sufferers, so we don't use that word at all, reported lower satisfaction aged 45 to 54. Maori sufferers reported a higher satisfaction, and it was a really interesting because the importance of whānau and the community actually has a larger place to play. And it is our knowledge and understanding now to actually go, how do we include whānau in our discussions and in our delivery within that? Because that, you know, as opposed to supporters, you can sit over there and the participants will do this. So it's really important for us to reflect the needs of each community. If we sort of look here as well, The cancer sufferers' well-being do tend to decline slightly with post-treatment, while their life satisfaction stays relatively consistent. And that's possibly, as you would know, sort of post 18 months out, people still may be dealing with fatigue, chemo brain, things not back to actually what they thought they were going to bounce back to normal. So I think it's that realization sometimes around well, this is my new normal, and how do I live with this? And you can see there that it does sort of change within there. Those that have completed more than 18 months are significantly more likely to perceive their well-being now than those who are actually in there. So hopefully it means that the support that people are giving and the way in which they have their outlook, they're being able to look at that. So what are the main reasons? Well, positivity. I think the appreciation of small things, the get out of free jail card, the knowledge and control. I think the strong support. You are such a strong support system as clinicians and things within there. That's really important for everyone to go. We ran into the complementary therapies. What's actually people looking for and needing? Fatigue from diagnosis to post-treatment was probably one of the #1 things that people talk about, and the need to know how they can overcome that. Difficulty in sleeping, and of course, the emotional well-being. And sufferers feel that, very much in terms of how are they trying to combat that. So exercising is very much about movement, not necessarily going to the gym. When I talked to Dr. Lynette Jones based down in Dunedin, and when she talks about sometimes the best thing is just to be able to walk to the letterbox and back, as opposed to on social media at the moment, you see so many posts around people who are still running marathons and goodness knows what else. And you're just going, how in the earth can I just get out of bed today and feel normal? Spending time with friends and family, hobbies, keeping routine, etc. All of these things have been really important, and you can absolutely have this information so that you know what's there within there. One of the areas that we won't ever go into, but we know it's really important, is counselling. And one of the reasons why we won't go into counselling, we will leave it to the experts. And we will support that and we will talk that through. But because we are non-medical, we believe that actually the clinicians and the psychologists, etc., have a very strong place to play. But it's not in our lane. But we will recognise it and reflect it in our resources in terms of what's needed. In nutrition as well, we look for medically based nutritional facts and trying to actually unpack all the things that people ask about or think, or whether it should be a vegan diet, whether it should be totally organic, whether it should be that. We stay very true to what is medically researched within there. And everything has to be as well. I'm sorry, guys, we refer it back to you guys. We go, we're not the medical experts. Please talk to any of your clinicians before you actually go and do anything, because we don't know what stage you're at. So if we looked at this, what was delightful is less than 1% of patients worldwide say that they are recommended by a physician any complementary therapies. Whereas in New Zealand, 45% of our participants said that they had actually had recommendations from their clinicians into other complementary therapies. So the way in which you're getting some of that messaging out is really important. And I go, woohoo, rather than global. So I may be a POM, but, I'm a recent Kiwi. Some of the things that will drive us to where we go in the future is actually what people need. So, we may do a class talking about the benefits of ginger, or we already do meditation and mindfulness and yoga. We might talk and Pilates. What we probably won't do is some of those things around the vitamin C injections and those. We want to actually wait and actually understand and take the lead from the medical professionals. And some people are doing that, but again, it's not our lane. Knowledge is the key barrier to any of the work within here, because nearly half of us actually don't know about it, or they think that the cost is too high. And that's an important one for us for Look Good, because everything we offer has to be free. And they don't know how to start. So I think those are some of the areas that we will continue to look at, and that's why all of our fundraising and things goes towards the program and going, what's the next program that we can offer that is free? Because again, even when you're going through treatment, and for a supporter or a cancer supporter, time and money is so important. And as we heard, some people can't afford or have to make the choice between putting petrol in the car or doing those things. You're never going to make a choice to do a service like this that might be really important, but unless it's free, unless it's easily accessible, it's never going to happen. So that's our mantra in terms of the way in which we will continue to work within there. People are actually very supportive and very comfortable within there. And this is amazing that actually 89% said that they had a positive impact within their improved sleeping and within those. Māori sufferers are more likely to mention complementary therapies to help improve their sleep. And I think that that's a really important way in which we can actually learn as well about all the other ways in which we can do. I'm just conscious that I've only got 2 more minutes within there, and I have a whole load more of slides. So I'm just going to fast forward to talk about the fact that supporting the supporters has become really important. It's become really important because often they're feeling the pressure to always be upbeat, to always be positive, and are too afraid to talk to anyone about the fact that they're feeling pressure. So if we can actually include them into our mindfulness sessions, our yoga sessions, their self-care sessions, which actually are not, if you like, cancer sessions, it gives them an opportunity from thinking about caring for their loved one, and actually to give them the tips and tools and techniques as well to be able to handle sitting with their loved one before the scans. You know, we've learned obviously about anxiety, etc., and what are the ways in which we can help the non-medical support throughout there. And so we're known for our look good. Our heart is in feel better, because everything that we should do in well-being should actually make you feel better. What we had learned from the research was that there was no direct single source of all well-being support programs. There's no single source of truth for all cancer support services. There's no supporters universal support, and there's no complete cancer from diagnosis to thrival journey. And this is where the research for Look Good, Feel Better will actually illustrate to us that our remit is there to grow. Our intention is to continue to build the Feel Better, collaborating with organisations like yourselves and the charities that offer better community-based, equity referenced services. This would in turn allow us to upscale what we do. A couple of final messages. We'd love, first of all, to thank each and every one of you for supporting Look Good, Feel Better by referring us to our services. Get emotional. We simply can't continue this without you. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. For those of you who are interested in referring your clients, please come and see us, message us today. We have really great resources. We've made it easy because we've seen the plethora of information that you actually have to deal with each day. So tell your clients that they can self-refer. You can call us, you can register online, you can actually email us, do anything to give that person the sense of confidence tomorrow. We'll take care of the rest. Well, I won't, because they won't let me near a participant because they actually want to come away feeling good. So yeah, a true confession, I still can't draw a brow, but all of yours are looking great. So I would like to also invite any one of you to join and be an ambassador. How can you do that? Share our services with your client. Spread the word via your social media. True story, I managed to get hacked in Facebook, and our Facebook now is down. We're dark. So please spread the word and let people know that we are still around and we are still there. Use our QR code, sign up. Tell us what more we can do and what will be better. We are working really hard. I'd love the opportunity to come back and tell you actually how we're implementing the MAHI, how we're going to be talking to communities, the ways in which we can actually support our men who weren't referred to there at all, but are in there and are really important. But thank you. Thank you for what you do. Thank you so much for allowing us to leap in. It really was a romp through research, but I purposefully know as well that yeah, we shouldn't spend any more time when you've got lots of other things going on there. But come and see us over there. Come and pick up a lipstick pen. Come and get a complimentary compact mirror. But most importantly, know that we say thank you to you. Any one of you who wants us to come and talk in your community, to your nurses, to your medical staff, we'll be there. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you so much. I think you're going to be inundated with lots of people contacting you.